lucky you are, boy, back in the USSR.
That's right, folks. With CCP Biden in the White House and running the Justice Department with his buddies and the puppet masters, we've got a justice system that would probably fit right in with the old USSR and, of course, the current operation under that crazy guy Putin. So welcome. This is Dr. David D. Shine for the special edition of Saving America. And boy, does America need saving, and especially its justice system these days. The Trump indictment for nonsense is just the tip of the iceberg, folks. And I want to underscore, I am not a Trumpster. I do not want him to run for president again. I know he's sucking up all the oxygen right now. I know he's ahead in different polls, but I don't think that it's the right time for him. He had some good business and economic policies that benefited the American population, but I think there were a lot of flaws in what he did. So I'm hopeful that things will settle down, but I also do not want our American justice system utilized in such an unfair and unreasonable way. And I'll focus on a couple issues under that. But there's a big concern right now as I record this that the judge may issue a gag order. It is common in high-profile cases to tell the parties not to talk about the case. Well, Trump is already a declared presidential candidate. I don't see how he runs a campaign with a gag order against him regarding this lawsuit. So I think there's a lot to sort out here. And certainly, again, I'm not a Trumpster, but I do think that he is being treated unfairly. First, the Biden family needs to be investigated for their treasonous relationship with China. And I hope the United States Congress, under the direction of McCarthy, will make sure that happens and happens in detail quickly. It's taking too long already. Second, as a rule, if Bill and Hillary Clinton are not in nearby prison cells, I find it hard to believe that anything that Trump did could be worthy of prosecution. And I don't think I need to explain more. Third, if half of the protesters in Portland, Seattle, and Minneapolis are not already doing hard time for incredible acts of violence, how can we justify as an American justice system that people from the non-violent, basically, protests that took place on January 6th, some of whom are still in jail, others have been given extended jail times. This is not the American justice system that we have benefited from for almost 250 years. Folks, things need to change, and they need to change now. I hear a GOP congressman is proposing that a law be passed that says that you have to administer equal justice. Folks, the United States Constitution, a wonderful document, guarantees equal protection under the law. We just need to enforce what the Constitution says. And we need to start impeaching judges who are not following the Constitution. And we can start with that clown in DC who's been keeping these January 6 folks in jail without bail. And folks, it's been 2 years and 2 months. It's time for those people to be sent home. And if any of them haven't done enough time, then let's have a look at that. But surely this situation has gone on long enough. And we need to focus on people who actually committed serious violent offenses. And it's rather interesting that idiot DA Bragg up in New York, Soros-backed, of course, is violating this the people's rights, the victims' rights, by releasing people and downgrading their sentences and downgrading their crimes from capital crimes and felonies to misdemeanors, and yet is going after Trump for something that most likely is already barred by the statute of limitations. This is not American justice. I've also suggested recently, speaking of Soros-backed folks, that Soros be investigated by the United States Congress and the U.S. Department of Justice for quid pro quo political contributions. Now, any of us can give money to politicians that we think are going to vote or act the way we want. However, there's quite a difference between that and a corrupt plan to achieve certain end goals by funding certain candidates with the understanding that certain business deals will be done, or certain political objectives like getting Trump or getting the GOP. And so again, I call on a formal investigation be done to see what's going on with the Soros-backed operations. Sadly, all of this draws attention away from the real problems in America: runaway inflation, poor public schooling. We've got medical issues in terms of access to medicine in many communities. We've got crime running rampant, and it's just horrendous. And we also face, on an international front, the new axis of evil. Lawful citizens must focus their attention on the down ballot races like DAs. And we've already started focus on school boards. Let's keep up the pressure. Let's get reasonable, responsible Americans in the system, working the system, and bringing us back to the constitutional democracy that we have created. Thanks for joining us. This is Dr. David D. Shine for Saving America. If you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe on your favorite platform.